In this video, we'll talk about selecting a disk type. So I've attached 3 new disks to this virtual machine. And if we go to Server Manager, Tools, Computer Management, or run disk mgmt.msc, it'll launch disk management as well. We can see that only one disk is now appeared in the file system. I have to check it and to add 2 more disks. But as you can see, we can initialize this disk right on the spot when we launch disk management. And we can initialize it with MBR or GPT. So I'll go ahead and initialize it with MBR, partition style, click OK. And we've got one more disk, disk 1. And if I right-click it, I can bring it offline. Right-click, bring it online again. And I can convert it to a dynamic disk. So basic storage uses partition tables that are used by all versions of the Windows operating system. A basic disk is initialized for simple storage and contains partitions such as primary partitions and extended partitions. You can subdivide extended partitions into logical volumes. By default, when you initialize a disk in the Windows operating system, the disk is configured as a basic disk. So this one is now basic disk. Let's take a look at properties of this basic disk. If we click volumes, we can see that the type of this disk is basic, status online, and partition style master boot record. It is easy to convert basic disks to dynamic disks without any data loss. However, when you convert a dynamic disk to basic disk, all data on the disk is lost. There is no performance gain when you convert basic disk to dynamic disks. Some programs cannot address data that is stored on dynamic disks. For these reasons, most administrators do not convert basic disks to dynamic disks, unless they need to use some of the additional volume configuration options that dynamic disks provide. Some words about dynamic disks. Dynamic storage enables you to perform disk and volume management without having to restart computers that are running Windows operating systems. A dynamic disk is a disk that you initialize for dynamic storage and that contains dynamic volumes. Dynamic disks are used for configuring fault-tolerant storage. When you configure dynamic disks, you create volumes rather than partitions. A volume is a storage unit that is made from free space on one or more disks. You can format the volume with the file system and then assign it a drive ladder. That's why for this example, we need 3 disks to demonstrate volumes. We'll do it a bit later. Regardless of which type of disk you use, you must configure both a system volume and a boot volume on one of the server's hard disks. System volumes contain the hardware-specific files that the Windows operating system needs to load, such as boot manager and bootsect.back. The system volume can be the same as the boot volume, although this is not required. And you can see on this disk 0, we've got system reserved partition, and this C drive contains boot, page file, crash dump, primary partition. Also, boot volumes contains the Windows operating system files that are the system root and system root system32 folders. Let's take a look at them. If I right-click C drive, click Explore, I can find this Windows directory here, And if I go to Windows directory, I can find System32 directory in it. The boot volume can be the same as the system volume, although this is not required. Please note that when you install Windows Server or Client operating system, in a clean installation, a separate system volume is created to that you subsequently choose to use the enable encryption, the boot volume, by using BitLocker drive encryption.